live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And one of those places you love to visit this time of the year, Mount Cheaha. And I tell you what, we're going on a little roller coaster ride here from Randy Frazier. Some lovely drone views you can see there over Mount Cheaha. But those fall colors really starting to pop and leaves starting to fall. I have a couple of oak trees in my yard and still full of leaves, Tania. I was talking with my neighbor yesterday and I said, you just know, I like to, do a little leaf cleanup before putting out the Christmas lights, right?
Gotcha. No, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get things cleaned up and tidied up before you put the decorations out. One of the things that I've noticed is that, I know we're seeing a little bit of those fall colors, but like you were just saying, a lot of those trees don't even have leaves yet or anymore.
Yeah. Certain trees, they drop off and
gone.
But hey, let me tell you what, this weekend winter is coming.
Oh,
So all the
trees are going to be leaves in the leaves.
Get ready over the next couple of weeks. Let me tell you what's on the way here. First off, rain tonight. You can see the next big thing. We got some wet weather moving in from the northwest, a front, and right now it is 69 degrees here on Red Mountain, but tomorrow morning when you step outside, we're going to be in the 40s. I know a lot of talk about what's on the way later this week, but tonight a big change, so be ready for that. A first alert for tomorrow morning. There's actually a storm that we're tracking near Oxford, Mississippi. A little bit of lightning in here, but there's the line coming together. You can see it forming, and it's going to make its way on through our area during the overnight hours. So you may hear an overnight rumble. Certainly going to have a passing downpour. Won't last long. It's not a lot of rain, but we're starting to see some of those showers. Had a couple little tiny showers that were showing up in the parts of Marion County. Not seeing much happening here right now, but again, over the next couple of hours, this will start to move in, and you can see the timing for this. There's 10 o'clock, and it looks like Jasper, Coleman, pushing in towards Northport and Tuscaloosa, over towards Carrollton, and then notice by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we're seeing the back edge of this system moving through. So it's going to pass through fairly quickly tonight, and then we trend colder for the early morning. Again, right now, very mild out there, a little cooler to the east, but Fayette right now showing 71 degrees, but you can see that cold air with this cold front. Notice the 40s not far away, and that's that cold air is going to pour in overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. And a chilly day tomorrow. Temperatures will struggle to break into the upper 50s. Timing wise, again, these are start times for the rain, and you can see 8 to 10 o'clock, and then for West Alabama, 9 to 11 o'clock central in eastern areas, far eastern southeast areas, 10 o'clock until midnight tonight. And then again, the rain tapers off during the early morning hours, and then cooler tomorrow. Thanksgiving Day, we have a first alert weather day coming up, but I will tell you it's looking better. Rain, some wind during the morning. There's a limited risk that we could see a strong to severe storm during the early morning, something we're going to be watching. And then we have an Arctic blast on the way for the weekend that's going to impact the country, and we're going to get a taste of it. We're talking about lows back into the freezing range. But breaking tonight, 3 Alabama counties now listed as primary natural disaster areas because of that drought that we've been telling you about. It's worsening. 9 other counties are not far behind. The USDA Secretary saying Dallas, Perry, and Wilcox counties designated as disaster areas. Other counties in danger include Bibb, Chilton, and Hale counties. We're told farmers in these areas could be eligible for emergency assistance. And right now, I want to head to meteorologist Tania Michelle. Tania, we're talking a bit about some of those weather safety measures with all these tonight, the rain. Then we have the first alert weather day for storms, and then some really cold weather coming up this weekend. It's time to start thinking about some severe weather safety.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Wes. And we want to remind you, too, with those cold temperatures on the way, it's also important to start preparing your home for the winter weather, preparing those pipes, checking in on your family and friends, especially later this week. We'll talk more about how much colder we'll be in just a bit, but I really want to show you what we're expecting, or really how you can prepare for any severe storms that we may see this week. So looking at that severe storm safety checklist, and it's not really a checklist, it's more of a safety list. Number one, you want to make sure you stay in your vehicle if you have to in case of a severe storm, and try to get to a building, a structured site. You want to make sure you also slow down or pull over, stop at a safe location. And number three, if hail is coming down, turn your back to any windows and try to cover yourself if possible. So this is more of like a list starting first. If you're in your vehicle, this is what you need to do. You need to slow down, pull over, stop at a safe location, get to a structured building. And three, if there's hail coming down from any severe storm, turn your back away from any windows and try to give yourself some extra clothing to protect your skin, that extra barrier between any debris flying and your skin. But of course, the safest place to be is really in a basement or a storm shelter. So just keep that in mind as you make any preparations for any severe storms as we head in into the winter severe weather season. Well, now to another extreme drought. We first brought you this story a few weeks ago when water levels were noticed to be low at Lake Purdy. Meteorologist Matt Daniel joins us now with the latest and if it should be a cause for concern.
September and October, super dry, drought increasing. And here at Lake Purdy, a lot of people are driving by noticing the dry levels. In fact, I'm standing over an area that should be covered in water. But the big question is this a problem?
Lake Purdy is one of Birmingham's major sources of water, dating back to the early 1900s. Fast forward to today, where we recently just saw one of the driest Octobers on record with only a quarter inch of rain. And though it's normal for September and October to be dry, this type of drought is typically out of the ordinary. I had the chance to speak with Daryl Jones, the interim general manager for Birmingham Waterworks, as he told me the lake levels are actually not of concern.
Right now the lake is about 10 feet down from being full, which is not unusual for November time of the year. We have more than enough supply of water to meet our customers' needs. So we've had rain events in July that pushed the lake up. We had another rain event in September that restored some water in the lake. So Lake Purdy, it drops. That's the purpose of it. That's why you have to have it.
Back in late September, we saw that the lake was over 75% full, but now it's currently sitting at a little over half. This was brought on not only by the drought, but by considerable amounts of water being used on those hot summer days.
Customers have been using water all year long. During the summer months, it's the peak demand of the year. So quite naturally, we have to have that stored water to meet those demands.
Birmingham Waterworks uses rainfall data in order to determine where we should be in terms of water levels. The yellow line indicating this year's current totals, showing ample amount of water storage, but anything below the green line sounds the alarm.
Lake levels get lower than we think they should be for the time of year. Then we have a 5-stage drought management plan that we use. We would implement stage 1 is a drought watch and then a drought warning and so forth. It'll escalate up until we look, we need customers to cut back.
And cutting back was exactly what happened. 2016 was one of the last times we saw water concerns, with over 80% of the state seeing extreme to exceptional drought, including Jefferson County. November of that year, Birmingham saw a yearly rainfall deficit of 15 inches.
We had a somewhat drier than normal year, starting in May, going through the fall. And in September, we had about 60 days with no rainfall. So that put us into a situation where we did go through all stages of our drought management plan, asking our customers to reduce their usage and just use water wisely.
Today, the drought isn't as bad, with abnormally dry conditions in Jefferson County. We've only seen a rainfall deficit of less than 7 inches for the year. And though extreme measures had to be used to preserve water in 2016, today, we're much better off.
Some of those things may be, if you had to water grass, even number of houses water on even number of days, odd number of houses water grass on odd number of days, no more than twice a week, things of that nature. But if it gets there, then we will announce those issues. But this year is not one of those years. We've had great supply of water this year.
And as we're entering those wetter months, we can expect for the drought to hopefully improve and for the levels at Lake Purdy to return to normal. For WBRC 6 News, I'm meteorologist Matt Daniel.
And coming up on First Alert Weather Extra, we're helping you prepare your skin for the cold winter months. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. Welcome back into Weather Extra, joined now by Dr. Cole from the University of Alabama Birmingham Department of Dermatology. And so glad to have you with us here this week.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it stayed kind of warm, and I know in the warm weather we all want to go outside, but also we have some cold weather on the way.
Yes, sir.
And that can have its own unique impacts when it comes to skincare. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So you definitely need to modify your skincare with the weather change. Things that our skin was more tolerant of in the warmer weather, we need to back down from. So we need to switch from kind of harsher cleansers to ones that are more gentle or moisturizing. We definitely need to up our moisturizers, both for our face and body, using thicker creams or emollients more so than the light lotions of the summer months. And the biggest thing is continue to wear your sunscreen.
Okay, and just want to ask a little bit about that. You
Sure.
said wear your sunscreen in the cold weather. You know, we may not think about that, but it's so important that you have that UV protection even during the colder months.
Correct, correct. The UV light still gets through even if it seems kind of dull and gray in those colder months. So definitely continue sun protection. You want SPF 30 or higher, broad spectrum sunscreen every day.
So, you know, you talked about the lotions and the skincare. Are there any vitamins, nutritional things that we could change up in our diets during this time of the year to help with skincare?
That's one of the things that's still ongoing with research.
Right.
So we don't have that great data to support that, but I think the most thing is to think again about that skincare.
And also, I guess the heater doesn't help out, right? Really
No.
drying things out in the
Yes.
house. Maybe think like a humidifier, perhaps.
Right, that's correct. Yeah, the dry heat of central air can really even contribute to the dry air outside and the moisture barrier of our skin. So yeah, avoiding that dry heat, space heaters can be helpful.
So you talked about the cold weather, and it just never hurts to kind of talk about, because the weather around here changes, right? It's winter one day, the next day it feels like springtime. So when we switch from cold weather back to warm weather, we talked a lot about cold weather. Tell us about the warm weather conditions. I mean, obviously we know we need sunscreen during that time of the year, but I mean, anything that just pops up we may not be thinking about?
You can get back into those more, if you tend to be on the oilier side, more aggressive cleansing, exfoliation. Some patients will step up their anti-aging regimens because their skin can become more tolerable during that time. But the main key is that sun protection, because that's going to prevent a lot of the issues down the road.
Is there like a certain age where you really need to, because I know like when you get to a certain age, it's you want to have colon cancer screenings, and I mean, is there like a certain age where skin cancer that risk may be heightened?
It varies a lot on risk factors, family history, tanning bed exposure, blistering sunburn exposure. But in general, if you have it come to the forefront of your mind, it probably means that you're about the age where you need to start having it done.
Alrighty, everyone. That was such a good, informative way to protect and prepare your skin as we head to more colder temperatures later this week. Coming up in a little bit, we'll talk about that 7-day forecast, but let's talk about what's happening right now. Well, we're still fairly dry across central Alabama, but there's some showers and even a few thunderstorms in Mississippi. This is tracking towards our area. We're seeing a few lightning indications just north of Marion County. Marion County, you're still fairly dry at the moment. Maybe a few showers starting to pop up to the west of Hamilton, but that's really about it. We'll see more rain tonight, so if you're heading out for events like Magic of Lights out at Alabama Adventure, that started at 5:30 and goes through 9 p.m. So between 7 and 9 o'clock, we'll see increasing rain chances, 8 p.m. low 60s, and then staying in the low 60s right around 10 o'clock. If you have any plans after you leave Alabama Adventure, you're really going to want to have that umbrella and rain jacket on hand. So if you are heading out the door later this evening, and really right now, between now and late tonight, grab the rain gear as we are tracking those increasing rain and storm chances, but we'll be showing you those colder temperatures for later in the week coming up right here in Weather Extra in just a bit. Wes?
Yeah, taking you across the country now to California, where a major storm is causing record rain, landslides, and flooding. Video shows a vineyard in Sonoma County covered in floodwater. Santa Rosa had its wettest 3-day period ever, with around 12 inches of rain hitting the ground Friday, according to the National Weather Service. Flooding shut down parts of the Pacific Coast Highway, and there is no estimate of when it will reopen. Another storm is expected to arrive this weekend, and it may linger into the following Tuesday. It's just been one right after the other. That atmospheric river, or Pineapple Express as we call it, Tania, impacting the West Coast.
Oh yeah, Wes, and over the next few days, record-breaking holiday travel is expected. Are you surprised? But the weather may cause some headaches. A series of storms could bring rain, snow, or chilly conditions as you try to get to your family and your friends. In the Midwest, a system bringing rain from the Great Lakes to potentially as far as the southeast. Along the West Coast, Mountain snow and rain. This system moving to the central U.S. by midweek, then re-strengthening as it heads east, possibly putting a damper on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Another headache for the AAA airlines. For America, estimated 31 million passengers expected to fly this Thanksgiving travel period.
Our command center in Virginia has real-time engagement with all of the airlines to find the most efficient, safe path around weather as it occurs.
And we're continuing to bring you the weather extra on these impacts this week as you all head out to be with your loved ones on Thanksgiving Day. Well, when we come back, we'll have a look at your 7-day forecast, but we're also going to be showing you and telling you more about those freezing temperatures for the weekend, plus your weather photos. We'll be right back.
Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. We have some rain and thunderstorms out there. I just had a viewer reported in the Red Bay area. Said, Wes, we got some rumbles of thunder, but there's a little storm right there. You see that little lightning strike? That's right around Red Bay and tracking over towards the Russellville area, but staying just to the north of, that's around Red Bay and just north of Hackleburg, right there in Marion County. But there's another storm back into Mississippi, so we are getting some rumbles out of this. Don't be surprised overnight if you hear some rumbles of thunder, but this is the line that's coming together along a cold front that's going to blast through here tonight. Right now we're close to 70, and then tomorrow morning, well, look, we go from 66 in Birmingham at 10 o'clock tonight. Rain moves through, and by 2 a.m. we're tumbling into the 50s. Tuscaloosa's temperature starting to drop, and out the door tomorrow morning we're going to have some 40s on the map. Look at 4:30 in the morning showing down to 45 at Hamilton, so keep that jacket nearby. You will need it early tomorrow morning, but the rain moves out early in the day. Notice by 9 o'clock in the morning we're we're still seeing some 40s out there. Listen, it is going to be a chilly day tomorrow with that breeze out of the north. The clouds, once they clear out, we get a little bit of sunshine. We should see a rebound into the 50s during the afternoon. We may touch upper 50s out there with some of that sunshine coming back. But notice by 5 o'clock tomorrow night, we're still seeing some 40s in areas to the north. Some really cold air. But the temperatures start to rebound as we go into Thanksgiving Day. And we're seeing another system. Notice the instability there. We've called a first alert weather day 1 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. However, a lot of data is really starting to lock in on possibly early in the day. Let's talk about it. There's Wednesday, looks dry, but the rain comes back. This is the IBM model, and it shows most of the impacts early morning hours on Thursday, and then it's out of here. But this is what we need to watch here. Could see a couple strong storms to the south, and some of those could be severe early in the day. Then that moves on through, and this model actually has us clearing out nicely there for the rest of the day. So again, the severe risk is on the low end of the scale. Hopefully we can back off on that first alert weather day, but certainly the next impactful system. And then we have colder air. Look at this coming up for this weekend. We're talking about lows down into the 20s. Friday, highs struggling to break into the upper 40s. Some cold weather by Monday morning. Could see a few teens on the map. Certainly the wind chills will be down into the teens there early next week, as you'll see on that 10-day forecast. Colder weather. Iron Bowl Saturday. It is going to be chilly here in Tuscaloosa. 50 degrees for a high temperature. In Bryant-Denny Stadium, though, may go a couple degrees warmer, but still cold during the night. And you can see Wednesday we're looking at next week. Temperature is still upper 40s, low 50s out there. So bottom line on this extended forecast is look out. Here comes winter time. We're starting to see those colder temperatures. Plan for freezing conditions and break out those faucet covers, because it looks like Tania, we're talking multiple mornings with temperatures into the freezing range.
I know, that's the crazy thing. So enjoy the 50s that we're seeing for Thanksgiving Day. I mean, I'm telling you, those 20s, big drop and big change. But as we prepare you for any travel plans you have over the next couple of days, this is what we want you to know. Well, as far as air travel delays, and we're looking across the entire United States, we are seeing some areas that might see moderate delays out there. Areas in red for parts of New Mexico over towards parts of Arizona. And this is just an estimate of what areas could be seeing delays, and it really has to do with the weather. So as we look to Tuesday, you can see how areas to the west are dealing with some more precipitation, whether that's wintry mix, a little bit of snow, maybe even some rain. That's stretching for parts of Colorado to Nevada and even parts of California like Los Angeles. Looking a lot drier across the south, including Texas, Oklahoma, and looking mainly dry as we bring in Tuesday late afternoon for the southeast. But we continue through later this week, and we start to see a few more areas with minor delays. You can see how those delays shift further to the east, and that's because all that wet weather and all of that active weather is starting to push further and further eastward across the U.S. So we're going to see some minor delays stretching from Omaha, Nebraska down to parts of Texas, or could see those minor delays. And you notice all that moisture continuing to build across our eastern states as we approach Wednesday. And for us here at home, we were talking about it, that possible chance for rain and storms Thanksgiving Day. So we're just giving you that first alert. Thursday evening looks pretty good as far as delays, but many people won't be traveling that day because you'll probably be nice and settled with your family and your friends. Well, coming up in just a bit, first of all, we want to wish all of you safe travels no matter when you're leaving this week. But coming up in just a bit, we'll be sharing some of your lovely viewer photos. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
about some First Alert weather app photos? And we're going to take you to York Mountain. Janice Bisco sharing this lovely photo with some clouds moving in. We're seeing more of those this evening.
And look at this one. I don't know if this is a sunrise, probably a sunset though. This is from Norma Bryan out at Monteagle, Tennessee. Beautiful sky conditions there.
Love that glow out there. And Wesley Lovelace out there in the foggy weather with those low beams on in Gadsden. It was actually near freezing there. So, you know, sometimes you can actually have freezing fog that can happen.
And Lynn Burrell sharing friends Justin Hill's photo from Black Mountain, North Carolina. I was like, I know that's not Alabama,
Yeah,
but
look
how
at the
beautiful.
snow. Yeah, some snow in the higher elevations there in the Smokies. Now, we're not seeing snow, but I tell you what, it's going to feel like it coming up later this week. We got some cold weather on the way. We go from highs in the 60s to several days with temperatures for a lot of areas in the 40s during the day.
If we could push the rain to the weekend, we'd have some snow.
Oh, watch out. Don't say it. All right, hey, we'll see you back here tonight, first at 9.
Cool, let's do this. In 3, 2. Hey there everyone, First Alert meteorologist Tania Michelle here, showing you that 10-day forecast. We are tracking some wet weather around as we bring in really your Thanksgiving day. We've declared it a First Alert weather day, but not only could it be rain, the rain will start Wednesday night, but we can also see some stormy conditions as well. So make sure you have your First Alert weather app, your phone's charged just to get updates. We're looking at a very low severe risk as of right now, so we'll keep you up to date if things change on that. Temperatures dropping significantly as we approach the weekend. If you have plans to head out to the Iron Bowl on Saturday, or by next Thursday with returning rain chances possible. If you're looking for more forecast updates, be sure to download the WBRC First Alert Weather app and check in with us for your local news and weather on WBRC.